Hello, and welcome to. No, not doing the bit again. Hey guys, I wanted to make this video to explain who I am and what the heck am I doing here aside from my intro video. Obviously, if you saw that video, you already kind of know what I'm about and what I'm doing, but I wanted to make this just to give you a little bit more of an idea of who I am, what I'm doing, and what exactly my intent here is. So, you all know how 2020 has been a thing, right? Well, I've been one of those freaks that actually gained something from this year. I started streaming in July of 2020 after I realized that my dream of doing music for a living inherently kind of prepared me to do content on the internet. I had a good mic, some recording software, an audio interface, and a decent PC that I made for gaming in 2017 to run everything on. And I don't even need to use a face cam. I watch tons of YouTubers who basically never show their face in their mainline content, and they're all doing just fine. For example, Gray Still Plays, Super Eye Patch Wolf, Filmento, Dunkey, Saberspark, and to some extent even people like Binging with Babish and Giguk, who, sometimes show their face, but it's usually not in their mainline content. And then there's recent juggernauts, like Dream, just to name a few. All of them are doing pretty great for themselves as far as it seems. While Facecam can be a selling point of a channel and something to add to entertainment value, I don't necessarily have to shill out for a nice camera, or figure out how to set up my phone for one, or worry about rigging and lighting and all the other stuff to make something look good, because if I'm going to make anything, it's going to be good content. That, and I don't have to worry about putting my face on the internet for a while, because that's totally something I don't have anxiety about, or whatever. Also, face reveals are free content, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Now, speaking of Dunkey, he made a point back in a video that he made in 2017 that really struck a chord with me. A point which I really hope is going to end up being the entire core of what this channel is about.
Just this year alone, IGN has featured over 37 different reviewers. When you see a video from Pro Jared, or Total Biscuit, or Angry Joe, you know exactly whose point of view it's coming from. Now pick a review from IGN.
Then you get double Luke Riley.
It's important to build an understanding between the critic and the viewer. Every review you do should feel like an extension of the last until your audience understands what kind of games you respond to. Probably one of the dumbest, most frequent comments I see is, yeah, I stopped listening to this guy after he said Bubsy 3D sucked. You don't have to see eye to eye on every single game to put your trust in someone, obviously. A critic's power lies in the consistency of their voice, but when you're consistently wrong,
then you're bad, and no one's going to respect your opinion. Anyway, look, the point that Dunkey is making here is the fact that you can't have so many different people going and contributing towards the same product, or at least the same type of product, and have a consistent voice that your audience can consistently get the same message out of or come to grow an attachment to. I could not agree more with that sentiment, and that explains a lot about me too, upon actually reflecting and thinking about it. Ignoring the issues of politics or agendas in games journalism, even basic game reviews have started being deemed unreliable or invalid when it comes out of a big outlet like IGN or GameSpot. I never stopped to think about it before, but yeah, all of the reviewers that I've slowly gravitated to over the years are either reviewers with independent freedom to write their own stuff, like Yahtzee, who works for The Escapist but acts pretty much as his own independent critic, or people like Dunkey and Arlo, who do exclusively their own thing. I don't want to just regurgitate what Dunkey said from that clip again, so here's the deal. I want to create the most reliable, transparent, and consistently high-quality video game content reviews possible, and here's how this is going to work. First, I'm going to pick a game to review, which will have some sort of announcement video that I'm going to put out on YouTube, which may also extend to social media if I get enough attention, so that that's worth doing. Either I'll just decide on a game, or maybe when I have a greater audience, I'll do some sort of a poll, or I'll do something on Patreon, or whatever, and we'll decide whichever one happens. But point is, pick a game. Second, I am then going to stream that entire game on Twitch, and every week I'm going to be uploading edited gameplay to YouTube. I will play the entire game for one playthrough, or, if it's shorter, a game that really needs more than one, like Octopath, or we'll play more than one. And you get to see that journey. You get to see me play, you get to see my experiences with the game, so you know exactly where I'm coming from when I make my reviews and criticisms. Third, when we beat the game, then I'm going to take a week or so, maybe that's undershooting it, I don't really know, we'll figure that out as we go, to write an edited, fully scripted video like this one to review the game that we just beat. This review will end in a score, but not just a score, specifically 2 scores. First, it's going to be an objective review of the game. Is the game actually good? I'm going to do my absolute best to set my opinions aside and determine how good is the game as a whole. How is its game design, the level design, stability and glitches, gameplay mechanics, audio design, narrative and writing, aesthetic and graphic design and animations, character models, everything. How good is the game, objectively? And this is mostly going to determine whether or not I'm going to recommend that you buy it at the end of the review. The second review is a subjective score. You know that one that I just went and set aside those opinions? Yeah, this is where those go to live. Regardless of whether the game is a blessing to humanity or an absolute dumpster fire, did I like it? What did I think? This will also culminate in a score which, considering I don't want to recommend you buy a game purely on whether or not I liked it, it's going to more be a measure of how much did I regret buying it myself and spending the time playing it on stream. At the end of the year, we'll do a retrospective where we both correct for some scores now that we have the benefit of hindsight, and we'll also rate the games that we played that year in a scale of which games were objectively the best and the ones that I liked the most. What I am attempting to do is I'm going to wrap up all the elements of a Let's Player, a games journalist, a critic, and a streamer all into one tight-knit package. With some other fun, personal, probably gaming-relating projects down the line that maybe don't specifically pertain to reviews and Let's Plays, but I'm working on right now that I'm super excited for, and honestly, I don't care if it's trash, I don't care if you like it. It's my dream, and you can't tell me what to do! All of this is essentially in the effort to give you, the viewer, the clearest possible image at the end of the day. Like, for instance, there is, for sure, going to be a list of games that I won't be reviewing for a good reason. Primarily, that reason is going to be because I suck at them. If I can't play a game at an average level, I have no authority to tell you whether or not that game is actually good or not. My word is worthless at that point, and I'm wasting everybody's time. An example of a game like this would be, for me, Super Mario Maker. I am absolutely trash at 2D Mario games. It's not even worth bothering for me. I know the game is great. I can watch other people play it, but I can only give you like half a review, maybe, because I can only comment on things that I can observe since I basically can't play them and experience them for myself. Now that being said, some games are missing content, so to speak. Games like Valorant or Apex Legends or Overwatch don't have a proper story in-game. And that's a big chunk of the objective review that's gonna be missing in that case, but they do what they're meant to do, which, in the case of the aforementioned, is to be mechanically polished to the point of being competitively viable. With that being the case, whatever score would be lost in the missing content will just be accounted for in what's more important to the game, which, again, in the case of the aforementioned, is the gameplay and competitive mechanics. Admittedly, I'm not going to worry about consistent content at the start. Both because I'm just now finishing up my degree in my university, and as a result, I'm unemployed and I need to fix that, because YouTube sure ain't paying me to have no day job. And because if I know anything about YouTube, it's that the algorithm and corporate office hate you, and there's no amount of me being consistent with absolutely no analytics to speak of that's going to fix either of those things whatsoever. Anyway, I want you to know exactly who you're watching when you come to either of my channels. I want you to watch content in the fact that you know exactly what you're getting out of it while you're here. Reliable, honest, consistent content that I eventually, hopefully, will get sponsored for, because we all enjoy wasting our time on it, and I plan to deliver on that promise. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me here on YouTube at LoneWolfEX, and you can find me streaming on Twitch and come hang out at Fendrain. I'm planning on potentially changing that tag to LoneWolfEX2, since I realize that might end up being a little confusing having two different tags, but whatever, we'll cross that bridge eventually. By the way, the outro music that I'm using is from Harris Heller's Stream Beats. Super, super nice lo-fi, copyright-free music to use in streaming and YouTube. There's some potentially really scary DMCA laws that are about to go into place, and stuff like Stream Beats is about to become massively, massively invaluable. And if Harris ever gets around to seeing this, thank you so much, man. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.